Hi there. So in this video, I want to talk to you about etiquette in the Dojang. So Dojang is the training hall. So you'll quite often hear, particularly our senior students, referring to each other as sir or ma'am. And it's just a respect thing. So you'll quite often hear that from our senior students, but we do try to get juniors doing it as well. It's just a really nice habit and it stays with them throughout their Taekwondo journey. Once someone gets a black belt, we actually don't call them by their first name. It's weird. It takes a while to get used to, particularly if it's someone young, if it's someone that's like 12 years old and you've always known them as Bob, and then all of a sudden you have to start calling them Mr. Jones. See, it can take a while to get used to, but that's just something we do. So if they're wearing a black belt, you call them Mr. or Mrs. or Miss, and then their surname. And so we're quite often joined by some fellow black belts, so refer to them by their Mr. or Mrs. or Miss, and then their surname. If you forget it, you can always check their belt and you'll see their name. The other thing is, so we refer to people by name. If we don't know the name, that's actually totally fine. We just say sir or ma'am. And to be honest, even if we know their name, quite often, I mean, you've probably all heard me call my kids, and I'll say sir or ma'am, because we're here and we're in Taekwondo setting. We will quite often be quite formal with each other and we'll be like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, or thank you, ma'am, thank you, sir. And it's just a nice respect thing. When we turn up, so we're here today in Stour Row, when we walk in, how we should do it, couldn't open the door, is as we walk in, so we're just coming in, we bow, and we can come in like normal. And then as we're leaving, we would typically, to get to the door, so I'd get to the door, I'll turn and face in the room, and I'll bow, and then walk out the door. And you'll see that even I do that. It's just part of being in Taekwondo. It's part of our community. It's part of our ethics and our attitude. And so that's one of the things. When we're in our lines, so at the beginning of every class, you'll always see me lining you up. There's a starting ritual, which I'll do in the next video. And at the moment, we only do that with the seniors, just because it takes a while to get used to. But I'm going to show you it at some point, and we'll get the juniors doing it as well. So what will happen is the senior grade student will normally be in position 1. If you're all the same grade, it doesn't really matter. But once you've got someone with a higher grade, they'll be in position 1. And then it will work across and then onto another row. And this hall's quite narrow, so we actually can only have sort of 3 students on a row. But a lot of times, like if we're at our other venue, we can have 5 or 6 people in one row. You will all be asked at the beginning of the class to bow, so we'll carry it. Hyunhae, Taekwon. We say Taekwon whenever we bow to a person. If I'm bowing to, like if I'm doing a demonstration and I'm breaking some wood, I will bow to the wood because it's part of our heritage. So I'll bow to the wood, but I won't say Taekwon because it's not a living thing. But if I'm bowing to a person, I'll say Taekwon. Okay, next up, I want to talk to you about what happens when we're not doing something. So say we're all in our lines and we're waiting to be told our next instruction, or maybe we're watching a demonstration, or somebody's taking a turn at something and then it's our turn next. What we should do in Taekwondo is we should stand with our feet parallel, or angled ever so slightly outwards. So in traditional Taekwondo and in lots of styles of Taekwondo, our feet would angle ever so slightly outwards. Bonus points for that. And our hands would be behind our back. And this way, this is great for many reasons. Firstly, it shows that you're ready. So, I mean, it looks like I'm ready, right? I'm good to go. The other thing is it stops you fidgeting. So if your hands are here, what am I going to do with my hands? So if our hands are behind our back, we know we're not going to fidget. And you'll see a few of us have got different ways. So some of us will hold one of our wrists. Some people I've seen putting their hand on the belt. It's totally fine if that's what you want to do. Or the other way, a lot of people do it, and it looks very cool if you're behind them, is they'll put their hand like a diamond here. And I think that one's the ultimate. That's the really like, wow, that person's focused and they are ready and they take this seriously. So that's probably the gold star method. But certainly you'll see us almost all the time stood there while we're waiting. We'll be looking at the front of the class. Our arms are behind our back and our feet are parallel. If we look around the room and we see lots of people like this, just chilling, just like, then we don't think they're ready. And it's one of the things that holds back some students from grading as well. So it's something that we have to sort of work on, and we have to try and act towards, try and work towards. So we're going to try and work on that a little bit. One of the other things that we need to try and work on is addressing people. So if someone asks you to do something, so say I have a helper, let's say Miss Daisy. So let's say Daisy's here in lesson and she asks you to help her carry some pads. Rather than just grabbing them or what have you, you say, yes, ma'am. So we say, yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, whenever you're given a command. So you'll hear even me and my kids. So my kids will say, yes, sir. If I'm speaking to Mikey or Daisy and I'm here in the Dojang, I will also refer to them as sir or mom. Sometimes I slip into Japanese mode accidentally and I'll say like Mikey-kun or Daisy-san, or Daisy-chan sometimes. So depending on how my mind is operating. But yeah, we will always be respectful to each other. So we won't be like, oi, you, or do this. We will always refer to each other. So thank you, sir. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, mom. Yes, mom. Yes, sir. And so do try to do that whenever you can.